Welcome. Today, we're diving into something really fundamental: Indigenous language and cultural protocols. Think of these as the very heartbeat of a culture and, the real foundation for building respectful relationships. We're going to look at how these living voices connect the past, the present, and the future, and what that means for all of us. So, let's get started. So, here's our roadmap for this journey. We'll kick things off with a living voice to see why language is so crucial. Then we'll step back in time with an echo through time. After that, we'll explore the incredible work of reawakening culture, figure out our part in walking a good path, and finally, look ahead to our shared future. All right, first up, a living voice. And this is so important to get. Indigenous languages, they aren't relics in a museum. They are alive. They're vibrant, dynamic, and being spoken and reclaimed right now. They really are the heartbeat of a people. You see this phrase a lot, and for good reason. It's spot on. Language isn't just a bunch of words we use to order a coffee. It's the very vehicle for culture. It carries entire worldviews, histories, spiritual beliefs. It shapes a unique way of seeing the world and our place in it. It truly is the lifeblood. Wow, just let that sink in for a second. This piece of wisdom from an elder just captures it all, doesn't it? It gets to the heart of how deep this connection is. For so many Indigenous peoples, the language itself holds the very core of their identity, their connection to their ancestors, and to the world around them. Now, to really understand the incredible efforts to revitalize languages today, we have to look back. We have to grapple with the history and understand why this work is so desperately needed in the first place. This timeline gives us a quick but really crucial snapshot. Before contact, this land was home to hundreds of unique nations, each with their own rich languages and ways of governing themselves. But then came policies like the Indian Act and, of course, the residential school system. And let's be clear, the damage to language wasn't an accident. It was a deliberate, targeted policy designed to sever that cultural link by forbidding children from speaking their own tongue. And the result of those policies? Well, it created something we now call intergenerational trauma. This isn't just about the people who directly experienced it. The pain, the loss, that sense of disconnection, it gets passed down like a ripple through generations. This isn't ancient history. It's a living reality that affects communities right now. But that is not where the story ends, not even close, because out of that devastating history comes incredible resilience and strength. This next section, Reawakening Culture, is all about the inspiring, active work of healing and rebuilding that's happening right now. So how do you bring a language back from the brink? Well, it is a massive effort. It takes everything you see here and more. It starts with dedicated people recording the last fluent speakers, the elders, to preserve that precious knowledge. Then it's building dictionaries, creating immersion camps where you live the language, and even developing apps for your phone. It's about bringing the language back into everyday life for a whole new generation. Now, hand in hand with language, you have cultural protocols. You could think of it this way. If language is the what of a culture, protocols are the how. They're the time-honored, established ways of showing respect and interacting properly within that culture. So let's take a closer look at what that actually means. Basically, protocols are the rules of engagement, and they can be pretty straightforward, like making a land acknowledgement before a meeting to show respect for whose territory you're on. Or they can be more specific, like knowing the right way to offer tobacco when you're asking an elder for their guidance. But at the end of the day, it's all about one thing: showing respect. Okay, this brings us to a really important part of our conversation, walking a good path. This is where we connect everything we've talked about, language, protocol, directly to you, to your role in the workplace, and to this bigger journey we call reconciliation. Now, don't let all the acronyms throw you off. Let's just quickly break this down. Think of it like a funnel. At the top, you have UNDRIP, a big global declaration on the rights of Indigenous peoples. That leads to crucial ideas like FPIC, free, prior, and informed consent, which is really the gold standard for how to engage with communities. And then the TRC's Call to Action 92 brings it right to the corporate world's doorstep, saying, hey, you need to adopt this stuff. This is your roadmap. So let's pull all these threads together in our final section, our shared future. This is really all about moving from just understanding this information to actually doing something with it. Honestly, if you only remember one thing from our time together, please let it be this. Reconciliation is not a checklist. It's not a report you file and then you're done. It's a relationship. And like any good relationship, it has to be built on a foundation of respect, and it requires ongoing commitment. That respect starts with understanding the languages and protocols we've been talking about. And just so you know, that's exactly why learning like this is so critical. The things we've covered here, they line up directly with the Truth and Reconciliation Commission's call to action number 92. This gives you and your organization a solid foundation to start from. And so we're going to end with a question for you. Learning is absolutely the first step, but real reconciliation demands action. So after everything we've gone through today, I want you to think about it. What is your next step on this path?